Hello and welcome. I'm Miraj and you're watching Take It Out. We're coming to you from the Tesla's Experience Center in Gurugram, which is on the suburbs of New Delhi. Look at that. Now that has to be the most minimalist cabin I have ever sat in. No buttons, maybe a couple on the steering, one big screen. Now Tesla might be synonymous with EVs, but it's hardly limited by that moniker. The company has created proprietary technology when it comes to batteries, when it comes to manufacture, when it comes to software, when it comes to robotics. In this episode, we're bringing to you driverless technologies, autonomous cars including Tesla, an autonomous drone from Germany which is mapping and measuring the depths of the Baltic Sea. We're even looking at some technology to knock drones out of the sky. Finally, we're turning back the clock by taking a look at the VW camper van, an icon of counterculture in the 1960s, which has been appropriately recast as an EV to represent the digital age. Now, Tesla was a pioneer in driverless technology. This car has 7 or 8 cameras. It relies only on radar. Other companies that use or that have autonomous vehicles like Waymo and Zoox also have something called LiDAR. In this story, we're going to look at some of these technologies and see how they're being deployed and how they work.
Driverless taxis are moving beyond controlled test zones. As companies expand trials onto busy city streets, the US has become the main proving ground for large-scale autonomous testing and commercial rollout, from sun-soaked Miami to the desert heat of Las Vegas. Companies are now testing driverless tech in every climate and preparing to take these robotaxis from pilot programs to full-fledged on-demand services.
I used to only ride driverless cars about a couple times a week, but as I've had the opportunity to experience them more and get more comfortable in them, I've been taking them every day now. So I use it to commute to work, go shopping, all of my other daily tasks.
Several companies are chasing the same driverless dream, but each is taking its own route to get there. Waymo, spun out of Google's self-driving project, is the most advanced player and is expanding rapidly. Zoox, owned by Amazon, is running limited pilots in select regions in San Francisco. Meanwhile, Tesla has secured approval to run a ride-hailing service in Arizona. General Motors Cruise, once a major contender, remains under restrictions after a series of safety reviews. Together, they're defining what the next generation of urban transport could look like. Waymo remains the only company in the US offering paid, fully driverless rides.
Good afternoon, Catherine.
The Alphabet-owned firm has expanded to Miami and plans to roll out services for employees in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Orlando before opening to the public in 2026. Its fleet exceeds 1,500 vehicles, each equipped with LiDAR sensors for 3D mapping, radar to track moving objects in all weather, and high-resolution cameras to recognize lanes, signs, and pedestrians. All of this data feeds into Waymo's AI system, which decides how the vehicle accelerates, brakes, and navigates complex traffic scenarios. Tesla is taking a different approach to driverless rides. Rather than using LiDAR, its cars rely entirely on cameras and AI-powered neural networks to see and navigate. The company has recently received a permit to operate its Robotaxi service in Arizona, like in Austin and San Francisco, where Tesla already operates its Robotaxis. The permit in Arizona does not allow Tesla to operate the taxis without human driver supervision, so the commercial launches are still in the planning stage. Elon Musk says Tesla's system will learn from millions of miles driven by customers, building a virtual map of the roads to make fully driverless taxis possible in the near future. Across the Pacific, China is also pushing autonomous innovation. A new electric driverless vehicle has been unveiled in Shanghai. Built without a driver's cabin, being developed by SAIC Maxus Automotive, the vehicle can carry both passengers and cargo. An annual production capacity of 100,000 units is being planned. All road testing, licensing, and route validation for the driverless EV have been approved by China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology and other regulatory authorities. The vehicle can reach speeds of over 60 kilometers per hour, making it fully compliant for public road use.
As a mass-producible vehicle designed for real operation on public roads, the requirements for its perception system are extremely high. We are now simulating a pedestrian detection scenario. As the vehicle approaches at high speed, it can easily detect my presence, and the display immediately switches to pedestrians have priority.
After driverless cars, China is also looking upward. Autonomous vehicle company EHang has unveiled an unmanned electric flying taxi capable of carrying passengers and cargo in low-altitude airspace. The EH216S can reach speeds of 130 kilometers per hour with a range of 30 kilometers and has received certification from China's Civil Aviation Administration for commercial use. The company is building takeoff and landing sites across 20 cities, envisioning networks connecting rooftops, parks, schools, and supermarkets, while full passenger routes are still in the future.
We need to make sure aircraft development follows a path with real commercial value and a complete business cycle. It cannot be merely about research and development, nor can it be a toy for engineers. It should become a true consumer product, something every consumer can use and experience. In the future, we hope that aircrafts will become as accessible and common as cars.
China's investment in low-altitude air mobility signals that the country is pushing hard to lead the next wave of urban transport. From driverless cars on American streets to electric autonomous vehicles in China, and even low-flying urban aircraft, tech companies are reimagining how people and goods move, and the race to make these vehicles safe, reliable, and accessible is accelerating across the globe.
So this is Tesla's famous supercharger. 15 minutes of charging gives you over 200 kilometers. I mean, it is very impressive, but I mean, it only applies to terrestrial vehicles. Now we've got electric mobility underwater, on boats, in FTOLs, which are planes. How do you charge those when they're on the move? This next story is about this underwater drone that the Germans are developing to map and measure the depths of the Baltic Sea.
Along the coastlines of northern Germany, a new autonomous drone is being tested to monitor and map underwater landscapes. With so many transcontinental cables securing communication lines around the world, it's become vital to secure undersea infrastructure. At the port of Damp on the Baltic Sea, engineers have been putting the Grey Shark through its paces. This sleek, torpedo-length craft is an autonomous underwater vehicle, an AUV, built to patrol and protect critical undersea assets across the Baltic Sea.
Grey Shark is an autonomous underwater vehicle designed not just to explore but to protect our oceans, our infrastructure, and our lives.
The Baltic Sea has recently experienced damage to undersea power cables, telecom lines, and gas pipelines. This makes the underwater domain a highly strategic and vulnerable frontier for European nations. The Grey Shark is engineered to patrol this environment. According to its manufacturer, Euro Atlas, it's the fastest AUV in its class, capable of operating at a speed of 18 km per hour and covering a distance of up to 1,100 nautical miles.
The main differentiator to other systems is endurance, and this is only possible by using this unique fuel cell propulsion system on board. It's unique, it's the first time that such a system is used on an AUV so far. And in addition to that, the swarm capability with the onboard AI that can manage all the data, all the collected data, and help to make real-time decisions. And this is also very unique.
Beyond monitoring infrastructure, the Grey Shark is also equipped for defense operations, including mine countermeasures and anti-submarine warfare.
Looking for mines, search and rescue, anti-submarine warfare, so we can look for and listen for submarines, for example. The grey sharks don't have to be swimming to do that. They can actually be sitting on the ocean floor and just listening. And then if it listens to what it thinks is a submarine, the grey shark can then surface, put its antenna up, and then tell a control station somewhere in the world it's found a submarine. And it can also give the position of where it thinks that submarine is.
The grey shark can travel for long distances, using navigation to monitor pipelines, cables, and coastal territories. Its design is inspired from nature. The vehicle's body is based on the highly efficient, streamlined shape of a penguin. This bionic form is optimized for stability, low drag, and maximum efficiency in the water.
You cannot beat 13 million years of evolution. The penguin shape is the most efficient underwater shape, in the world, and that's it. And the closer we get to it, the more efficient we become, and every percentage more efficiency means 10 miles more diving time under the water.
To enable these long endurance missions, engineers have developed a hydrogen fuel cell system. This technology drives the vehicle across extended distances without requiring it to surface. This capability is essential for grey shark. Traditional batteries cannot deliver the range and durability required for such advanced, long-term, AI-equipped missions.
Now, drones have redefined filmmaking, but they've also redefined warfare. Now, the Germans have been working on a system by which they jam drones and they can also knock them out of the sky using a good old-fashioned rifle.
Battlefield superiority is no longer determined by sheer numbers or big, expensive military hardware. Today, access to cutting-edge technology has replaced sheer might as the differentiator for the world's armed forces. Recent conflicts like the war in Ukraine have made this abundantly clear. And the biggest game changer in modern warfare has been the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, better known as drones. Cheap, easy to assemble and fly, drones can be used effectively to remotely target an adversary and conduct surveillance. These machines are versatile, cost-effective, and capable of precise, deadly strikes. Not surprisingly, anti-drone technology has had to pivot away from using expensive missiles to defeat low-cost enemy drones. On Germany's Baltic coast, NATO and German forces recently conducted an exercise to check the military bloc's preparedness and effectiveness of its counter-drone technologies. At a military training ground, soldiers tested a range of systems including net-shooting hunter drones, specially modified rifles, and heavy machine guns, often augmented by aim assistance technology and advanced surveillance monitors. The aim was to showcase a layered defense that can thwart drones before they reach their targets. Soldiers demonstrated defenses against one-way attack drones as well as high-flying surveillance platforms. The Fortem Drone Hunter F700 was one of the key systems on display.
We have to ensure that the eastern flank has a defense in depth that allows us to not only protect ourselves from some of the drones that we've seen, but any drones that may be produced in the future. So we want to make sure that we have sensors in depth. We want to make sure we have effectors in depth to provide that deterrence, that persistent deterrence.
The exercise focused on targeting small aerial drones that are the most commonly deployed UAVs in modern warfare. The exercise tested the latest rifles, nets, and specialized monitors designed to identify, track, and neutralize unmanned aircraft in real time.
I think in general, we just need to continue moving forward with a lot of the capabilities. Again, you can't prepare for everything, but at the same time, we have to also create a dilemma for our adversaries. So we're just not only defensive, right? Today was a defensive capability, but some of the next demonstrations that we're doing are offensive capabilities.
The event also featured systems like the C0 Mark Apex rifle and target drone technologies used to test real-world responses. Troops fired from rifle-mounted setups and vehicle-based launchers to provide an accurate battlefield simulation.
I think that without a doubt, we found that there's not one technology solution that's going to solve all of the different drone threats that we face today.
The event also highlighted an agile procurement model and demonstrated logistical resilience via on-site 3D printing of drone components, enabling rapid near-frontline manufacturing.
Finally, we're turning back the clock by taking a look at the VW camper van, an icon of counterculture in the 1960s, which has been appropriately recast as an EV to represent the digital age.
The Volkswagen Microbus. It arrived in 1950 as a simple people hauler, a cost-effective alternative to the large station wagons of the time. No one expected this vehicle to become a globally acclaimed cultural and automotive icon, yet it did. Most famously remembered as the symbol of counterculture, the hippie bus decorated with multicolor motifs and peace signs was a fairly common sight in the US in the 60s. The Microbus has spawned several generations, albeit with a different moniker since its debut. But its most crucial makeover came in 2022. That year, Volkswagen unveiled the ID Bus, an all-new battery electric avatar of the brand's famed transporter. The ID Bus can be described as the essence of the original Type 2 Microbus, in a body which is fit for the modern era.
What do people expect from the ID Bus? Of course, it has to be true to its original. The original, of course, you had a higher seating position, you had a nice overview, it was spacious, it had character. All this has to be part of the future personality of that car.
With the ID Bus, the spirit of the original Microbus will live on for the foreseeable future. Speaking of preservation, here's a heartwarming tale of Volkswagen's most recent effort on this front. Earlier this year, a vintage white over blue 1977 Volkswagen Type 2 Microbus emerged as an unlikely symbol of hope and resilience. The bus gained worldwide attention after it appeared in a viral AP photograph taken by Mark J. Terrell.
I took a photograph of the bright blue bus looking remarkably unscathed amid the destruction. But if I come around to the other side, you can see that there's a fair amount of damage. Mostly cosmetic.
Now, after a meticulous restoration prompted by Volkswagen of America, the Type 2 bus known as Azul has been given a new lease on life. In recognition of the spirit of community, Azul made its public debut at the 2025 Los Angeles Auto Show this month. The entire process took over 2,000 hours and included more than 900 new or repaired parts. The result is a 48-year-old vehicle that looks better than new.
I mean, I'm extremely grateful, and it's a beautiful honor to be a part of this company and story and be a hope for people who lost things during the fires.
Okay, this is a bonus. Tesla's famous Optimus robot. First time I'm seeing it in the flesh, so to speak. Now, Mr. Elon Musk believes that robotics is going to be bigger than the automotive industry. In fact, he's trying to pivot Tesla to robotics. We've got the Grand Tour, and it's been very impressive. In fact, we even got to see a show of a bunch of Teslas doing coordinated things like automatons. Just goes to show how much similarity there is between an automaton like this and a car like the Model Y. In fact, I wonder if the day is not far when, like a transformer, this thing will be running and it'll turn into a Model Y and then back into, the Optimus. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave you folks. Have a great weekend. Keep watching WION. Like us on social media. Until next week, this is Miraj Shah signing out. Bye.